Hey everybody, it's Jason, and this week's Star Report is for September the 28th, 2022, and it is the last couple of days of September coming up. There isn't much happening, like there hasn't been much happening for the last year, 2 years. But this week, today, Wednesday, is right after we just had the new moon opposing Jupiter, right? So that would have been some intense energy. So this week, or today, Wednesday, we have the energy of Mars. Mars next month or a couple days is about to go retrograde as well, but not before Mercury ends its retrograde. So today, tomorrow, you should start feeling a little bit of energy connection between, so shorten this video, heart center and the solar plexus. Mars is usually in the solar plexus, right? Mars, god of war, control, energy, inner fire, right? So when it begins all this inner work we've been doing, it starts to feel like almost like just a it's starting to get warm in your chest, almost like heartburn is rising, but heartburn is usually higher in the chest, but just lower in the chest. And then the heart energy of Venus is trying to attune that, so you can start to see and use your energy and your inner fire, not for control or for war, but for higher love, advocating for the things that you want, not the things that you don't want. So that's pretty cool. Then we are ending September. Let's see, that would be Wednesday, Thursday, Friday is the last day of September. And it's just going to feel nice and free until we get to October 1st, where we have Venus opposing Jupiter. And so that's why I said pay attention to Venus. So when Venus is opposing Jupiter, it's really look at your higher ideals in the sense of love, in the sense of a rising, in the sense of a rebirth. This is the energy of Venus rising, not Venus falling. And then that gets us to Saturday, which is the 1st. And then we have October 2nd. Sunday, Mercury moves direct. Yay! Mercury retrograde over. Don't get too excited. It is a 2-week shadow, post-shadow, pre-shadow, and post-shadow. So that just means that a lot of the things that are sort of coming up are on their way out. And so this Sunday, when Mercury moves direct, there is some solar energy that should be hitting us as well. We just had, over the past couple days, a solar coronal mass ejection, which was a small one, but it was combined with a coronal hole, so you might have felt a little triggered in your relationships with the Mercury retrograde over the last couple of days. Feeling a little bit of ease on that right now. And then when we get to Sunday and Mercury moves direct, we have a large coronal hole stream coming through, right? So you're going to feel like it's the end of a wash cycle. You've been working on relationships, you've been working on communication with the Mercury retrograde, and this is just the wringing of the towel at the very end when that coronal hole hits us. Usually that's pressure on the earth. Barometric pressure is what it would feel like, a little bit of pressure in the chest. Not necessarily the heart palpitations, but just when you sort of feel put under the weather and you can't really get a full breath, or you're feeling that you're moving slow on Sunday. It's not just that it's Sunday and you've had a long weekend. It is because of the cosmic weather. And so that moves us Monday into the post-shadow of Mercury retrograde. That's going to last till about the 20th. And then we have October 4th, which is the Tuesday, which is the 11 Master Day. It's the first 11 Master Day since April, so it's almost like an ending of spring, right? So all of the energy that happened at the springtime, at the summertime, is now moving into fall. We've passed into the new moon. Now we really are entering the energy of fall, and so that Master Day is really what kind of energy, how can we master the ability to harvest the good things from the hard work that we're doing. So pay attention to that. And then when we sort of work through that on, I guess that's Tuesday. Yeah. On Tuesday, We will really have the energy on Wednesday, which will be the next week. So we'll do that energy that day. But that energy is really going to be the time to focus on life plans. Where are you going? What are you doing? How are you? You're going to start to see, right? There's been a whole lot of confusion about what to do, how to move over the last several months. You're really going to start to see the plan take place, right? And that's what's talked about harvest, right? This hard times that we've been going through is about doing the inner work so that you may harvest the bounty of your spiritual work, of your thoughts, your feelings, your emotions, your dreams, and how you've been dealing with those thoughts, feelings, emotions, and dreams to put them into a pattern which is going to work for you. Usually these are patterns made for expansion, right? This is also the time of the year where you sort of clip away old branches and where leaves fall down, and you sort of design or landscape how you would like your environment to look, right? And so as a human, as a person, sometimes that looks like places you live, how your space looks that you live in, and then also where you work and how that looks, and then also people in your life. Are you branching off into new directions where some people are not the branches that you need to keep in your life? All that kind of energy, right? So sometimes that might be accompanied with all the pressure in the body and the slowness. You might be feeling like that's a bout in a depression, of sadness, and that may be true. You may mourn it, but it is a good mourning. It is a quote unquote good death, right? Because it's the death of rebirth. It's becoming more you, and it's becoming a new you, right? As we go into the winter time and we hibernate. And we start to build all these little things that when spring returns in several months, we will be ready and be firing on all cylinders, as it were. So the energy is going to be mostly this week in the center of your chest, maybe slightly below into your just below your sternum, into your solar plexus. So pay attention to that. Even if you're not lighting incense that's blowing directly into your face, it might be I don't call it labored breathing, but it might be that sometimes it's hard to catch your breath, and you're going to start to feel like maybe something's a little bit wrong. Obviously, if you have any medical issues, pay attention to those. But metaphysically speaking, it is really this sort of last little squeeze of these 7 retrogrades and the end of Mercury, which is sort of just getting that last little bit out. And then you're going to start to feel a lot of relief. Even before Mars goes into retrograde, we'll still be in 6 planets when Mercury stops going retrograde this week. So go ahead and pay attention to that. I think that's the only thing going on this week. Sounds easy. For those in the Florida region, that energy is intense and powerful, and also governed by the sun, right, and its ability to strengthen storms like that. So listen to those that are telling you how to shelter and what's coming, and you should, and we will be thinking about you while you weather that storm. Physical storms matching the metaphysical things that are happening on the planet. So go ahead and pay attention to the synchronicity of that, but also be safe. Until next time, I think that's it. Many blessings.